NYPA, it's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter, spin his web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave him shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. Our blocks is deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Horton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, a murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. It's your boy KG broadcasting live this weekend, Memorial Day weekend here in the United States. So happy Memorial Day to everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves and staying safe and enjoying the barbecue and so forth. And the quote, unofficial start of summer, as they say every year. This is supposed to be unofficial start of summer for the Memorial Day weekend. So hopefully everyone is enjoying themselves and having a good time during this holiday weekend. There's a lot to get into and a lot of things I'm going to pretty much talk after I read the article. I have a lot of comments to be made. And so let's get started, shall we? Denzel Washington skips Cannes Film Festival after snapping at red carpet photographer. See how they did the wordplay? Snapping at photographer snap pictures. Yeah, that's stupid. Diva Denzel skipped the press conference for his new film Highest to Lowest at the Cannes Film Festival in France on Tuesday after arguing with a photographer on the red carpet. The Oscar winner, who's 70 years old, was absent from the promo event for the crime thriller that comes out on Apple TV Plus in September. The movie director Spike Lee and star Jeffrey Wright were both at the press conference. Lee, 68, seemed to reference Washington skipping the event, telling the room, the last time I was in this room, I had to apologize for an F up, but I won't be apologizing today for an F up. Lee was referring to when he accidentally revealed the Palm Day Award winner Titian before the official announcement at Cannes in 2021. After working with Washington on the films Inside Man, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, He Got Game, and At Highest to Lowest, Lee said at a press conference that he doesn't foresee the pair collaborating ever again. It's, quote, it's been a blessing to have the body of work of doing films with the people love, people you love. They left out a word. It's a blessing again. I don't know if we're going to do it again, Lee said. I think that this is it. 5 films. He's Denzel been talking about retirement, even though he just did another deal, Lee added. On Monday, Washington lost his cool during an intense disagreement with a photographer at the Highest to Lowest red carpet premiere. The Gladiator star 2, according to expert lip reader Jeremy Freeman, snitch, lashed out at one of the shuttlebugs who touched his arm. So the photographer touched his arm. Says, I guess, the snitch lip reader Jeremy Freeman. That's his name? Yeah, Jeremy Freeman. Quote, hey, one more time, stop, Washington told the photographer, according to Freeman. Washington allegedly continued to shout, let me tell you, stop, never put your hands on me again. I'm talking to you, stop, all right? After the photographer grabbed Washington's arm and asked him, can I take a picture? Washington responded, stop, Stop it, stop it. I mean it, stop it, stop it. The photographer and his colleagues were all smiling throughout the heated exchange. Um, Despite the confrontation, Washington was all smiles later that evening when he was surprised with an honorary Palm d'Or award given to him by Lee. Quote, this is a total surprise for me, so I'm a little emotional. But from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all, Washington said after accepting the prize. It was a great opportunity to collaborate with my brother. Once again, brother from another mother, Spike. All right, from highest to lowest. I want to see. I seen the clip have Jeffrey Wright, like I said, Denzel. Um, it has Wendell Pierce, who's from The Wire, and Ray, and currently on Raising Kanan. It's nice. Spike know how to bring the brothers together. So it's coming out in September on Apple Plus. It'll hit another streaming service. But I seen the trailer. It looks dope. I want to say something about the quote unquote lip reader. Who's to say that the lip reader was correct in reading lips? Because I've read and seen instances where lip readers get shit wrong, like anybody else who's actually hearing the conversation. Where is it? Wait, what'd he say? What'd you say? So how do we know he's actually saying that? How we know the lip reader was 100%, like perfect on the actual exchange, because no one knows but the photographers and Denzel. I want to put that out there. They're like, Jeremy Freeman, he got his free press. He's a professional lip reader. Like, they can't make mistakes. I've sat next to people personally who's been talking, and I misconstrued what they say. Wait, he said blah blah blah. And no, he said something else. He was like, oh, I took the cat out. I took the cat to the vet, and I could have heard him. They took the mat to the door. I don't know. It happens. But who's to say he's whatever? Number one. Number two, if someone's requesting not to be touched on their arm, on their hand, reaching out to them, male or female, like, you gotta respect that. People, if you grabbing on them or you touching them, you don't want to be touched, they got that right. That's their personal space. We all know that. So if that's the case, and that's the heat of the exchange, that this photographer kept grabbing him and tugging on him, like, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? And he refuses. He's walking away. He got that right. Don't grab on him, because that's how things get started. When you touch people and put your hands on them when you're not supposed to, and tug on them, that's anyone. That's a celebrity or civilian alike. No one wants to. No one, even if you gradually bump against somebody on the street or the bus, on the train, or whatever, you might have tripped and accidentally bumped somebody. He touched me. Nobody, that's what they are. That's who they are. And you gotta respect that their space. So I can't say whether or not he said what he said. I don't go about lip readers. Again, lip readers can get things wrong. Go check out a Seinfeld episode called The Lip Reader. Uh, Jerry was dating a deaf person who read lips, and they went to a party. That George's ex-girlfriend was there, and she was reading lips, and she got it wrong. Check out the episode. It happens. So we don't know exactly. We're going off of what Jerry. I'm not calling Freeman a liar, but I'm saying we giving this man too much stock. He can say anything, get himself some free press. You know what I mean? So unless Denzel and or the photographers actually come out and say, this is what was said, I'm not taking it to the bank and depositing it. You know what I'm saying? But if it is based on invading someone's personal space, where you're touching them and grabbing them to get their attention, no one likes that at all. That's a huge no at the end of the day. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera. That's a huge no at the end of the day. But besides that, I do want to see highest to lowest. My favorite Denzel and Spike Lee collabo would be Mo Better Blues first. I'll say then Malcolm X. Then He Got Game. Inside Man was okay. That's the fourth one. Inside Man was all right, and then we'll see how it's the lowest. But Mo Better Blues is one of my favorite movies. Period. I love Giselle was smooth as shit in it. I love the cast. Had it just pretty much the first time, maybe the last time. You had Sam Jack, you had Wesley Snipes, and Denzel all in the same movie. Spike did that, but you know, hopefully we get to see it again before they retire, or Denzel retire, or Sam steps back, or Wesley, whatever. But yeah, it's a good movie in general. It just rules like a real. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. One of my favorites. I would think maybe my next to Do the Right Thing. I think this probably is my favorite Spike Lee movies. Mo Better Blues is something about it just dope. And I think because the character Denzel was just smooth as shit in there. Got the ladies. He played the trumpet. He was just like smooth. He had Snipes was smooth in there. A bit of a snake in the grass though, but he was still smooth with his. But I'm looking forward to seeing highest to lowest. Again, go check out the trailer on YouTube after you watch the show on YouTube. After you watch this show on YouTube, where you press the subscribe button and you get notifications of NYP Entertainment Radio, the final season, then you go check out the trailer for Highest to Lowest, starring Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, Wendell Pierce, and directed by Spike Lee. So go do that. And again, don't trust lip readers. Don't trust lip readers. They can get things wrong too. They can. They can. I stick by it. All right, let's see what else do I have. I got some Diddy stuff I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna say that a little bit later. I got some Diddy things I'm gonna get into. Um, we hit up Exhibit because we talked about Exhibit. Yo, dig the move, man. After I spoke about Exhibit last week, and on the internet hear things and they post stuff online. Well, lo and behold, I've they put a clip somewhere online. They had a clip of Exhibit and Redman being interviewed and playing their new track. Exhibit, Redman, and Be Real from Cypress Hill. I know that rhymed. I did not hear the Be Real part, but the Redman part with Exhibit, the beat was bumping. It's called the highest or the highest. Um, and I gotta go back and I want to hear Be Real's part, but Redman killed it. I'm not being biased, but he killed it. Exhibit came in and did his thing, and the beat was bumping. Um, man, yeah, yeah. So that tells you right there. You got some legends right there. And I want to hear one with the Busta Rhymes, like Ice Cube. So that was just like a taste of it. And it came out of nowhere. Just on the timeline. I literally listened to it at least 3 times in a row. And all I need to hear, all they played was Redman's Exhibit part, and the clip cut off. They didn't play Be Real, like I said. But yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that shit is serious. The Kingmaker, that is serious. So as I was saying about Exhibit label wanted an $11 million buyout payment from Dr. Dre. Exhibit recently revealed how his former label had demanded demanded an $11 million buyout from Dr. Dre so he could join Aftermath Records. Exhibit claimed that Steve Rifkin must have been sniffing. That's an old RZA line from Wu Tang. Exhibit claimed that Steve Rifkin, the former CEO of Loud Records, wanted a large sum of money for his release from the label. Quote, he asked for $11 million buyout, claimed Exhibit. He just didn't want to let me go because of the massive price tag the deal fell through. The deal fell through. Although Dre didn't sign him to Aftermath, he served as an executive producer on 2 of Exhibit's albums. Quote, he told me that no matter what he was doing or where I landed, he was going to make sure he was there for me, Exhibit recalled. Nobody, let me go up here. As the interview continues, we spoke about the influential show Pimp My Ride. Now, we don't get into that. I want to get into more so the $11 million buyout. These record companies are not stupid. That's why a lot of cats go independent. because yeah, you can pretty much maneuver anywhere. Steve Rifkin, for years without records, he overshot his bid. Now, could he did it on purpose to maybe try to ruin the whole thing by making just ginormous amount, just to kind of see if Exhibit stay on loud records and he just fuck everything up, or did he really mean it? Because sometimes you got to think about. Sometimes some people sabotage shit just to benefit them. So, in my opinion, I'm thinking, and I'm thinking like a businessman. I'm thinking going down kind of type of rabbit hole type of thing. Rifkin probably was like, well, if I could say an outlandish number, I know they're not going to pay it. I'm going to say 11 million. So I either keep him here and blah blah blah, ruin the deal, whatever the case may be, or he could have meant like, fuck, I'm on $11 million, and it really meant that. The only person who knows is Steve Rifkin. But it has happened in business where sometimes if you're going to leave a label or leave a company or whatever, there's a buyout deal uh, in place. Sometimes that person who's like that you're leaving or is going to affect their business, they sometimes like, I might mess things up and just say something really outlandish, see if they're going to match it or not. If they don't, I win. If they do, I win. It happens. It happens all the time, whether it's in music business or regular business. It's you know it happens all the time more than you think. So I wonder if Rifkin did that, because that is a steep amount of money, um, you know, to act for an artist. And granted, like an exhibit is an all-star player, so you don't want to give him up. So I think he overshot it just to maybe self sabotage, or maybe got a little arrogant and was like, "You don't give me 11 million, Dre. I know you got it. Who knows?" But what I do know is I'm definitely looking forward to listening to Kingmaker. After, like I said, the track I heard with Redman and Exhibit already on there, I can imagine with Bust and Ice Cube. You know, the ones with the legends on it. The ones with the new cats, I don't care about that. But with the legends on there, like Cube, Bust, Be Real, Redman, I think I'm missing another name or two. Um, yeah, I'm all in on that joint. Definitely. I'm definitely all in on that. So yeah, that should be cool. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else I have. Keep this train rolling. I will go with. I'll see that. I'll see that. Okay, here we go. Speaking of record labels and buyouts and payments, here's a lawsuit brewing with Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper sue record label to reclaim rights to their recordings, including "Push It." Salt and Pepper. Sorry, I always get these pop ups. All right, thank you. Salt and Pepper are telling their record label. I don't. Sometimes I might have to scroll through stuff because the writers that write these articles are cheesy, and it kind of makes me laugh. So it says Salt and Pepper are telling their record label not to push it as they fight for their right to their music. Wow, Jesus. The groundbreaking duo behind hip hop classics, including 1990 Shoop and 1987 Push It, says in a lawsuit that Universal Music Group is violating copyright law by refusing to agree to turn over the rights to their master recordings. Cheryl Salt James and Sandra Peppa Denton filed the lawsuit in federal court in New York this past Monday, asserting that the Copyright Act of 1976, which says after several decades, artists can terminate previous agreements and reclaim ownership of their recordings, clearly now applies to them. The fight which was led to UMG pulling the Salt and Pepper music from streaming services comes as many artists with beloved legacies are making lucrative sales of their catalogs, while others get stuck in the classic record label battles over old contracts. UMG has indicated that it will hold plaintiffs' right will hold plaintiffs' right hostage, even if it means tanking the value of plaintiffs' music catalog and depriving their fans of access of their works, the lawsuit says. The lawsuit suggests that situations like Salt and Pepper are the very reason the provisions of the Copyright Acts exist. It allows artists who made deals at the beginning of their careers when they were relatively powerless to use the cultural standing and musical legacy they later established. The suit says James and Denton filed to terminate their agreement under the new law in 2022, eager to retake full ownership of their of their art and legacy, but that inexplicably, I got it out. UMG has refused to honor their rights. James and Denton say that by law they should now be able to own early recordings, including those from the 1986 album Hot, Cool, and Vicious, and 1987's Push It on the B side. Excuse me, on the B side, whose remix caught on and became their breakthrough hit. They say other recordings should legally be theirs later this year and in 2026, including 1993 album Very Necessary, which includes Shoop and What a Man. The deal was seeking both actual damages for money lost and punitive damages and amounts to be determined for UMG's actions. The suit says actual damages could well exceed $1 million. They also want a permanent injunction confirming their rights to the recordings. They said by pulling their songs from streaming and other commercial platforms, the label has maliciously punished Salt and Pepper for daring to assert their rights. The label lawyers said in letters included as exhibits in the lawsuit that they have encouraged mediation and want to reach a mutually acceptable resolution. But the UMG lawyers said in the letters that James and Denton were not even personally personally parties in 1986 agreement that covered their initial albums, and there are no evidence that they granted the label copyright that they can now reclaim. UMG maintains that the recordings were works made for hire, which would not allow for the reclaiming of rights. Salt and Pepper lawsuit says the women's agreement with the label make it very clear that they were not. The Queens, New York duo of James and Denton became Salt and Pepper in 1985, 40 years ago. They were later joined by DJ Spinnerella, who was not part of the early agreements under dispute and is not involved in the lawsuit. Cold Salt and Pepper Bowley changed the look of rap and hip hop. The lawsuit says they were not afraid to talk about sex and to share their thoughts about men. Their sound recordings, "Let's Talk About Sex" and "None of Your Business," for example, were huge hits. They talk candidly about women's sexuality and empowerment, when such topics were frowned upon, heavily criticized, and called taboo. In 1995, they became the first female rap group to win a Grammy, and in 2021, they received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Later this year, they become members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, should be called Music Hall of Fame, when they receive the organization's Musical Influence Awards. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about record companies. Or it refers to a Tribe Called Quest song. Rule 380 record companies are shady, but Tip said, and check the rhymes. Record companies can be shady. And if you're going in as an artist and you don't know your business, and they take advantage of that because you're coming in, you have no money, they lure you in with money, and you want to sign a contract because you want to become famous and become wealthy. Um, so by doing that in the beginning, you're signing your rights away to all your masters, and you got the 30-year period or decades or whatever. And it sounds like they are in their rights. And I think it all comes down to paperwork. What was signed back in 85 or 86 with the company. And it can't be he said, she said type thing. It has to be what is written. what the law always has been, or the law is now, and what was written on the contracts back then. And I think that's what it comes down to. If you have the receipts to back up the purchase, it should not be an issue. But this has been going on for a long time, where record companies they they have taken advantage of the artists for a long time. Excuse me. And this is why a lot of artists currently now they go independent. They can control their movement. They can own their masters. They can own their recordings. They can do all that without dealing with the mind games and the bullshit of the record companies. So hopefully they get it. But I think, like I said, it comes down to having it on paper in black and white. If you got the receipts to back up the payments, it should be an issue. Um, and this is why I say, unless you really, really, really need the money, you should not sell your catalogs. You should not sell your catalogs. You should hold on to it, make it generational, because you worked hard on that. That's your art. That is your artist, your artistic baby, so to speak. And it should stay within the family, because you'll make more money, in my opinion, having it than giving it away. They'll give a nice bundle, 200, 300 million, but they're going to make 200, 300 billion ongoing, and and they'll make your music catalog generational money for their family. The artist should keep it for their own family and keep it in the family for generations to come and make money off of that. That's how it should be. Again, unless you're in a certain financial situation and you need it, I understand. Cool. However, even then, I would say, well, parlay that into something. Parlay that to some type of income. And I think there's something that needs to be done, because, like, a lot of these companies that are buying these catalogs, I just think it's a bad move. If I'm a manager of someone, an advisor, a consigliere, I would advise them not to. Now I'm like, no, don't do that. They're gonna make more money off of it. Yeah, 500 million is a lot. Fuck yeah. However, again, 500 billion, they're gonna make renting it out, putting in a commercial, whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm thinking. Once you get your catalog, I hope no one out. Don't sell it. Hold it. Keep it within the family, and keep it strict terms with your family. Like, do not sell this. We set it up to where the money is going in even after you're long gone, for generations to come, where they don't have to sell it off. That's my opinion. I think you should do it that way. Because these record companies do not care. It's all about money. It's a business, and that's what they're going to do. So hopefully they get it. And again, I hate to repeat myself. It's all based on what was written in the contracts back then, and what is the law saying now, and what the law said back then that may still exist, or whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, what you want is the right to have, you know, your your songs, your masters, period. You know what I mean? So, all right, let us move on. See what else I got. Um, oh, else. Okay, all right, let's do this one. I'm going in order here. All right. So it says LAPD investigating break-in at Blackish actor Anthony Anderson's home in the Encino part of Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles police are investigating a break-in in actor's home. Police saying last Sunday, 3 burglars got into Blackish actor Anthony Anderson's home in the Encino area. Anderson uh, told the local affiliate there it was his primary home that was broken into. Excuse me. He said he was at his foundation fundraiser in Palm Springs, raising money for students at Howard University, his alma mater, when he learned about the break-in. Well, it is not clear if anything was stolen. Police said No one was arrested. Detectives at the Los Angeles Police Department said burglary crews often don't know whose home they are in, but because they target large and expensive homes, the odds are it will belong to a celebrity in the city, and an investigation is ongoing. Now, the obvious thing, and now they didn't say if the alarm went off or not, and I wonder if he lives in a gated community or if it's wide open. I would think it would be a gated community. Um, People find ways of getting in. One of the worst feelings is having someone violate your space, personal space, physical, come into your home and want to steal, stuff that you work hard on. But I would think at the end of, I will hope they didn't mention it, and I'm sure they probably did. Have a burglar alarm. Now, did he have security like that? I don't think he. I don't. They didn't mention it. He probably, and I'm going on a limb and say he probably had like an alarm system with a camera and shit on it. Um, and it's not like did they really take anything, or they being kind of hush hush about it. But it's the time that you put in to plot and plan to take someone's stuff to steal from them. Uh, the time you do that, you could be looking for a job. Yeah, at the end of the day, you just really could be looking for a job. So like just, well, I'm gonna go to this person's house and we want to do this. We're gonna try to go there and whatever. Just work. Just work. Just work for a living. At the end of the day, uh, but of course, people just they want to do things to do things. They want to steal. They want to rob. They want to take from those who work work for it. That's messed up, but it is. So hopefully going forward, they get caught. Hopefully going forward, no one else has to deal with that, and no one gets hurt because that's the main thing. And if they do steal it, that's fine. As long as they don't get hurt, you can always buy back stuff for the most part, but you can't buy back your life. And a lot of these people nowadays, no matter what race, color, creed, him or her, they'll hurt you for just to hurt you, and go in your house, steal and kill, just because they want to. So hopefully, I mean, if they do it next time, as long as nobody get hurt, let them take it. Don't fight them down. Whatever. You always get purchase it back. You can't get your life back when it's all said and done. There's a lot of fools out here who just are too lazy to work but have no issue on hurting others and stealing and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah. So there's that. I have all right. I got some Will Smith stuff, then I got some Kanye and some Diddy stuff to wrap things up here on this week's episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. So let me continue. Will Smith music video shoot sees scab crew walk off after IATSE picketing. All right. Will Smith. Will Smith. I'll get it out. Will Smith music video shoot. IATSE picket over as producers and union reach agreement with Oscar winners' help. The picket line in front of Will Smith's music video shoot in West Hollywood is coming down. Edged on by the Oscar winner and his team, the producers and IATSE have reached a deal. With the 35-person crew heading back to work, the Quixote West Hollywood Studios on the latest single from Smith based on a true story album. The agreement includes health and pension benefits. Those benefits were a key component of the dispute that saw Toronto and Miami-based producers Breathe Entertainment send everyone packing last Thursday and bring on a replacement crew that day. Will Smith music video shoot in now previously it says a Will Smith music video shoot in West Hollywood is facing union picket lines that day as the producers pink slipped the entire crew the night before. LATS, no, IATSE is on the street outside Kyoto West Hollywood Studios right now after Breathe Entertainment fired 35-person crew last Thursday over a contract dispute already on site that morning. Replacement workers, aka scabs, who were brought. Now it seems the replacement crew has walked off the set. Oof. Hollywood and unions is such a dirty game. Oscar winner Smith is in the building. However, technically he didn't cross the picket line as the union members were not yet in formation with the King Richard star showed up in his white Lamborghini early Friday. The article has been told. Nothing says I'm rich, and nothing says I'm rich and you're on the line fighting for your benefits, health benefits, and pension. Then there's, you know, what I mean, a celebrity show but a white Lamborghini, and you out there like, I need pension for my kids, I need benefits, and you pull you got your white Lamborghini, you're like, what up? Stepping out, looking sharp, not a care in the world. Anyway, I digress. The DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince vet released his first new album in 20 years back on March 28th. The shoot at Kyoto is for a track from the based on a true story album distributed by indie label Slang Records, sources say. Although the video shoots do not fall under union regulations, crews can seek guild-mandated benefits in recognition, which is what occurred here, which is why the initial crew was canned. Fellow Oscar winner Halle Berry was said to be scheduled to show up later today, as we previously reported from multiple sources. However, even with some ex-crew insisting Berry was expected, reps for the Oscar winner got back to Deadline, which is the article, and vehemently denied their client has anything to do with this LA shoot. The lack of involvement has now been clarified to be for no other reason than the union star is in France today at the Cannes Film Festival, where she is a member of the jury. Spokesperson and agent for CAA Rep Smith did not respond to requests for comment on the fluid situation while contacted by Deadline, which is the article here. IATSE said that all it would be saying officially right now is that it recently posted on social media that is on strike again. Will Smith, music video produced by Breathe Entertainment, will be picketing at Kyoto West Hollywood Studios today unless fair contract is offered to the crew. Like anything, like anywhere else, man, you want fair pay, you get your pensions and your benefits. We all got families. We all can't pull up in a white Lamborghini to work and step out like, you know, like we own shit. A lot of us gotta work, get up in the morning, whether it's in production, whether it's civilian work, whatever the case may be. We all have white Lamborghinis and just pull it up like, yo, what? I mean, hey, you know what's crazy? If I know somebody's picketing, right? When I pull up in a white Lamborghini, I'll like step out in an Uber or something. Like a yellow cab and look common as ever. Like, yeah, I would not be flaunting. Cause something about that. They sweating in the LA heat. They picketing. They want their, you know, they want their pensions. They want their benefits. You go zooming up in a white Lamborghini. I'd step out of Uber, little putt car, little hatchback. You know what I mean? Dressed down in sweatpants or t-shirt. Like, yeah, hey man, I'm with y'all. It's just something about just like showing up in a white Lamborghini. It's funny. It was kind of flaunting, kind of flaunting the fame. Like, I don't know. It's just funny. But they made sure in the article they said he pulled up in a white Lamborghini. They made sure of that. I had to pull up in like a Sanford and Son pickup truck or something. It's dressed down, baseball cap on. It's like, you know, look like I haven't shaved in weeks. You know, pardon me, help me. You know, helping fellas down on his luck. So now he look like that guy. But yeah, so hopefully, you normally do. but these unions have a right. Healthcare and benefits is health benefits is serious, dude. Like nowadays, and speaking from a cat who fighting through health issues and on the end of that, and it's good because health is crazy. The insurances are ridiculous, so that is key to get some type of benefits, and of course pension also, man. You all these years of working, you want to um, you want to get money for that. You know what I'm saying? All those years of working, so man, hopefully, and I think they will. It won't last long, and they get what they want. But it's key. No matter what union, no matter what it is, it's always outside of money. It's always mainly like benefits and the way the healthcare system is. And I'm not trying to get all political. I'm just due to my recent situations. I know how healthcare is, and it's freaking expensive. And you try to get the best benefits that you can get. Um, so yeah, man, fight the power that be. Do what you got to do. I think you'll get it. Hopefully, you'll get everything that you're asking for, and it should be it should work out. So we'll see. So but pull up some white Lamborghini. Come on. I know you got it like that, but you ain't got to show it that you got it like that. Maybe this is just humble me. I just be too embarrassed. They out there in the hot sun sweating. I'm pulling up in an air conditioned Lamborghini. 9 times out of 10, I'm not driving myself. So anyway, I digress. All right, so I got some yay, and I got a double bubble with Diddy. Let's start with yay and then and with double bubble with Diddy because that's what is going on. Kanye West claims he's done with anti-Semitism. I said right. I said right. If I didn't say it right, y'all get at me. Weeks after releasing song praising Hitler. Jesus. You can't make that up, but he did. I just talked about this. Like why? Anyway, let me read this article. Um, it says, vile Hitler loving rapper Kanye West publicly claimed to be giving up his hateful anti-Semitic tirades just hours after two soon to be engaged Israel embassy staffers were gunned down outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum. I am done with anti-Semitism, wrote Ye just 2 weeks after sparking disgust with a song called Hail Hitler and selling swastika t-shirts. I love all people. God forgive me for the pain I've caused. I forgive those who have caused me pain. Thank you, God. Ye did not directly link his apparent change of heart to the horrors of the cold-blooded slayings of Yaron, excuse me if I get their name wrong, Lachinsky, 28, and Sarah Milgram, 26, as the Israeli embassy employees left an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum the previous night. Instead, he suggested it was because he simply got a FaceTime from quote FaceTime from my kids, and I want to save the world again. The Anti Defamation League said it wasn't buying West's apology. Quote, we've seen this kind of attempted apology from Kanye before, only for him to back down over and over again, a spokesperson for the ADL told Billboard. This is Billboard magazine. As the Jewish community mourns the deaths of two individuals outside of the Jewish Museum, and yet another horrific anti Semitic attack, is going to take a lot more than a couple of tweets to repair the damage of the anti Semitic speech. Since 2022, West, who now goes by Ye, has made scores of anti Semitic remarks, triggering global backlash and the loss of major business partnerships. His controversy started when he threatened to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people on social media, followed by a series of bizarre interviews in which he praised Hitler and spoke conspiracy claims about Jews controlling media and finance. Ye's anti-Semitic posts and remarks continue through 23 and 24, including statements downplaying the Holocaust. In February, he posted on social media, quote, I love Hitler in capital letters. He then released Hell Hitler on May 6th, and he also sold T-shirts with big swastikas on the front, regularly justifying his hate as art. Uh, I don't know, maybe took his meds that day and got them together. Who knows? Is he genuine? Who knows? He might be. He might not be. The only person that knows is him. But right now, a lot of people are not buying it. You for a lot of years now, you put a lot of hate and you spewed it and you worshipped it. You made money from it, and it's hard to take anyone serious. And I guess, as the old cliche go, actions speak louder than words. So you have to put some hustle behind those words and show. Because right now, people are not buying it. Not buying the bullshit. I don't know. I can't say nay or yay. See what I said? I see what I did there. I said yay. I I can't say that either way because I don't know the man and I'm not in his head or anything like that. Um, what I will say is, hopefully he gets his act together and realize what he did hurt a lot of people. And we need more love. And sounds cliche, it what I'm going to say, and cheesy. But we do, man. There's too much going on in the world. We all need to come together. Stop hating each other for race, color, creed, gender, religion, whatever. Just be humans. If you're an asshole, don't like him to be an asshole. Period. Don't just not like them because they look like this or they worship this, whatever. I always say they go personality. If they cool as shit and they're green and they believe in another type of higher power, whatever. Okay, cool. If they're assholes, then go off of that, and that's how it should be. So hopefully we'll see going forward if he has truly change. I guess would be the word. But he has a lot of making up to do because he did so much damages. It's hard to come back from that. As people not buying it, I think he has to do. He really has to step up because anyone can turn around and apologize for all the damage they've done, but you gotta rebuild though. You gotta rebuild that trust. You gotta physically rebuild. You could burn down a forest and say apologize, but you gotta start planting seeds to start the trees start growing again, and that's gonna take a while. So that's what he would have. I think that's what he has to do, and he should have thought about that, about the kids and all that stuff prior to that. Look, feel what you how you want to feel, but be careful with what you say, because you are who you are. It's definitely going to be zoned in on you. Now, was it a publicity stunt? No one ever know. You really feel that way? No one knows, but he do. The only person knows is him. But for all the damage that he has uh, done, it's time for him to show that he's sorry, and that's the key thing. You got to show that he's sorry. So we shall see. Kid Cudi says Diddy broke into his home, unwrapped his family Christmas gifts, and shut his dog in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again because I got silence from y'all, and you kind of looking at me like, "What did Kyle say?" Kid Cudi says Diddy broke into his home, unwrapped his family's Christmas gifts, and shut his dog in the bathroom. Shut, not shot. Shut. The rapper Kid Cudi told a Manhattan jury this past Thursday that Sean Diddy Combs broke into his Los Angeles home after the hip hop mogul found out he was dating R&B singer Cassie Ventura. Christmas gifts from Chanel with Kid Cudi planned to give to his family were unwrapped and opened, and his dog was shut in the bathroom during the December 2011 break-in. He testified at Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Kid Cudi, whose given name is Scott Miss Cudi, was called as a government witness in the trial, which is in his second week, which is in the second week of testimony. Ms. Cudi said he learned of the break-in in real time the morning after spending the night with Ventura at the Sunset Marquez Hotel. Why was anyway? He told jurors that one of Combs' trusted assistant, Capricorn Clark, called to say that she was outside Miss Cuddy's house and that Combs was inside. Clark told him that Combs had forced her physically to drive there with him. Said Kid Cudi. "Quote, motherfucker, you in my house?" Miss Cuddy recalled telling Combs over the phone as he rushed to the home in the Hollywood Hills. He said he wants to. He said he wants to talk to me, Miss Cuddy. I'm not probably saying his last name wrong. Miss Cuddy said of Combs' response during the phone call. I said, I'm on my way over right now. And he said, I'm over here waiting for you. Cuddy told the jury, adding that Combs sounded calm. Cuddy added, I wanted to confront him. I wanted to fight him, but he said he feared Combs might not be alone for any actual confrontation. By the time he returned, Combs was nowhere to be found. Cuddy said, some gifts that I brought for my family have been opened. Cuddy testified of what was found inside, and then my dog was in my bathroom. He said his dog was acting very jittery. Prosecutors were barred by the judge from asking Cuddy for any details about lasting changes to the dog behavior after the break, including that it persisted in urinating on the floor. Quote, there are some dog lovers potentially on the jury, and the defense lawyer Brian Steele complained to the judge prior to Cuddy, the jurors entertaining the courtroom. Entering the courtroom. I'll do that line again because I can. There are some dog lovers potentially on the jury. The defense lawyer Brian Steele complained to the judge prior to Cuddy and the jurors entering the courtroom. Quote, I agree, said U.S. District Judge Aaron Sumerian told the defense. It's a serious issue, the judge said. I'll stop any answers that are about the long-term consequences of the dog. Cuddy and Ventura, the prosecutor's star witness in Combs' trial, briefly dated in 2011. While Ventura was on a break from Combs, Ventura and Combs dated on and off between 2007 and 2018. Cuddy told jurors that Combs reached out to him a couple of times. Quote, I guess he was in the dark about things and wanted to talk, Cuddy said. But Cuddy said he told Combs, you broke into my house, you messed with my dog, I don't want to talk to you. During Ventura's more than 20 hours of testimony last week, she told the 8-man, 4-woman jury how 2011 romance with Cuddy enraged Combs that he wanted to set fire to his car. Woo hoo hoo hoo, boy, oh boy. It is going to get more crazy as the summertime continues. My question in all this is, why are we just not hearing about it? Why didn't you call the police? Seriously, like, why didn't you call the police? Why? It sounds like you just bringing this up now. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you just bringing it up now, which is crazy. It incenses me when, and the same thing with what I'm about to read now, when people bring up stuff that happened years ago and didn't bother them then. What I mean, didn't bother him. He didn't go and press charges. Like my man. Look, I don't care who you are. You bring it to my crib. You violate my dog. You opening up personal stuff. I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops. Like, yo, you broke in. You messed up. I'm not keeping this quiet. I'm calling the cops. Like, I'm not gonna, let that go. He let it go, and then now you want to start bringing shit up. Why didn't you say anything then? That's the frustrating part. I don't understand. You let this fool do that. You wait this whole time, and now all of a sudden you act all big and bad and going and say, yeah, he did this to my doggy and all that shit. That should have been handled right then and there. Period. In the discussion, that should have happened. Let me continue. There's not a lot more things to get into. It kind of ties together. So different stories come out now because, when they said when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. So Sean Diddy Combs' ex-employees testify about his odd food demands, including applesauce on cheeseburgers. What's this got to do with anything? I don't know, but people got to get their their time in the spotlight. Sherlock Holmes had a very specific and unusual list of food items he acquired for his travels around the world, according to his former employees. While testifying at Combs' sex trafficking trial on Thursday, May 22nd, ex-employee George Kaplan described how the rapper and his team used a black Amex card to cover everything Combs requested, from baby oil to yacht rentals and luxury villas. When defense lawyers Mark and Aguilo questioned if those items included applesauce, Kaplan explained Mr. Combs loves applesauce and eats it on the side or on top of things. Cheeseburgers, and Aguilo asked, to which Kaplan responded, cheeseburgers being one of them. Combs is also obsessed with ketchup. David James, who was an assistant to the music mogul in '07 to '09, previously testified on Tuesday, May 20th. Ketchup was a big item that he always needed for his food, so it was just the consistency to create constant environment for wherever he was, James testified. He claims that when they flew to the UK, he always brought Heinz ketchup because tomato sauce didn't meet Combs' standards. James also told he regularly packed applesauce, detailing that it was a favorite food item for Combs. During the trial, Agnello asked James, "Were you aware that he puts applesauce on his cheeseburgers?" He replied, "I was not aware, but I knew he liked applesauce." Combs' former employees have testified about these unusual details as prosecution attempts to learn more about the rapper's alleged sex trafficking, racketeering, and other charges, including transportation and engaged in prostitution. Then it goes into the testifying Cassie and Kid Cudi. What does this have to do with anything? Who gives a flying fuck that the man loves applesauce? What does this have to do on the actual crime? How does this tie in? I don't understand. What does this? I don't understand that. What if he like cotton candy on broccoli? Does it make him a monster? The fuck does this got to do with sex trafficking? Someone explain that shit to me. Now this is kind of usual that here. It's not usual to help me like applesauce on a cheeseburger. Who gives a fuck? Like, just because you don't eat it don't make it unusual. He likes the taste of it. Who knows? I wouldn't eat it. I don't judge. Shit. People put mayonnaise on french fries. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what does this, how does this tie in to the actual fucking crime is beyond me. How does applesauce and cheeseburgers and eating Heinz ketchup tie in on the crimes he's being committed on the crimes he has committed? I don't understand that. Yeah, applesauce, didn't you? Did you know about that? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it's unusual. If I'm the juror, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck are we talking about here? So what the man? I don't care. Let's get to the point what we're discussing. Why are we here? That's stupid. It's just like I just don't. I don't understand. Like, look, man, I don't give up flying fuck with this man. He prosecute him for the crime. You know, like he's like, and I love all like it wasn't. It was interesting was everything is strange and weird now. But when you was working with him, you didn't care the man had applesauce. Didn't bother you. Didn't bother you one bit. Yes, sir, Mr. Combs. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'll give you the Heinz ketchup. I got your applesauce here. Yes, sir. Here, I'll smear it on it for you. Yes, sir. Baby oil wound up for you. Then ask questions. Then ask questions. Turn the blind side because you want to advance your career and make that money. So don't fucking come into the courtroom and act like he's some fucking evil dictator when you seen shit that you supposed to be seeing. Food aside, if you seen this motherfuckers doing sex trafficking and doing horrific things, you should report him then. Period. Don't play the victim. And it's so the fuck what he eats strange shit. We all in our own world we eat stuff that other people might not understand or combined two foods that don't go together and we eat it. And people may not understand that shit, but we do. So it's not look, if he put applesauce on his burger, okay. Big deal. I'm not gonna try because I don't think it's good. He finds it good, it's fine. Even if I knew him, you like that shit? Okay. I don't like spam. People like spam and broccoli and spam. I don't eat that shit. But if you do, that's cool. People are, spamming peanut butter. Sounds weird, but it's true. You see, if you Google weird combinations that people eat that don't go together, you'd be surprised. Elvis Presley used to eat um, peanut butter banana peanut butter and banana sandwiches, like toasted. Bad combination. He ate it, you know. Laverne and Shirley. Laverne to drink, and this is real though, with milk and Pepsi. Ew. Why would it? But people do. They do, man. They do. So who cares? As it get to the point where you commit the crime, get that motherfucker, stop him. That's what it comes down to. Stop him. And that's it. I don't like. It's just funny. I was everybody get these stories coming up, and it's an issue now. You dig what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's an issue. So I don't know, but like I said, we just got started. We got a lot of summertime to go, and it's just heating up. Not just weather-wise, but also with the case, and more weird things are going to come out. So we'll see. But I just find that just kind of one of those things where who cares? And I'm not appalled by that. I'm more appalled by the actual crime that he allegedly committed, not the fact that he eats a lot of applesauce and he loves applesauce and he puts it on his burgers and eats a lot of Heinz ketchup so what? So what? In that situation, the only person he hurting is his stomach. That's the only person. That's it. You're hurting his stomach. So that's the only thing. What are you gonna do? What I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys go. And again, I appreciate you taking the time on this week's episode of NYP and Tim Radio, the final season. Stay tuned for, that's my train of thought real quick. You know what I'm about to say. You know what I'm going to say. What I always promote next year in 2026. Who is Kyle Graham? The new podcast from me, yours truly, right here on Riverside.fm. And Who is Kyle Graham, and the final season of NYPN Tim Radio, go to Spotify, listen to audio or video version of this episode, or go to YouTube and soon other platforms. Press the subscribe button. I'll get it out, y'all. Press the subscribe button and get notifications when new episodes are coming out. So, Lord willing, I'll be here next week, giving you fresh new content of NYPA Entertainment Radio, the final season. And everyone, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Believe in that, whatever high power you can believe in. Take it day by day. You'll be all right. And if you like a little applesauce on your pork chops, you like a little applesauce with your jelly, you like a little applesauce on your toast, you like applesauce on other places, that's your business, not mine or anyone else's. Enjoy, be safe. That's your stomach's problem, not ours. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I don't have the outro anymore, so I'll do the clapping. You'll see the logo, and then the show will be over. Then you just wait for next week or go back and watch previous shows until you see this handsome face in there. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm out. NYPA Entertainment Radio.